The president of the International Civil Organization, Dr. Bernard Olumuyiwa Aliyu, has expressed concern over the use of scheduled air services for human trafficking. He urged airlines to train more flight attendants to help prevent human trafficking, placing cabin crew on the front line of the fight against sexual exploitation and slavery. To underscore the seriousness of the problem, airline leaders met at the just concluded International Air Transport Association annual general meeting in Mexico and were briefed by the United Nations agency responsible for tackling the largely hidden crime, which the United Nations says fetches criminals in the trade $150 billion profit a year. The ICAO president disclosed that the United Nations General Assembly had recently adopted a resolution on human trafficking, adding that many states have adopted regulations requiring cabin crew training to help combat it. As part of reforms centered around the ease of doing business, the Nigeria Immigration Service is set to approve the visas of foreign businessmen within 48 hours. The Controller General of Immigration, Mr. Muhammad Babandede, says that the initiative will not be an extra burden to the nation's borders. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria has listed the 6 agencies approved to interface with passengers at the country's airports. The authority says the affected agencies' orientation at the airport are as follows. The Nigerian Immigration Services and National Drug Law Enforcement Agency will now operate at arrival and departure halls. Nigeria Customs Service will operate at the arrival hall only. The State Security Services and the Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Services will operate at the cargo terminals only, while the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit EOD will be operating at the baggage hall. FAN insists agencies required by law to be in uniform while on duty must be fully kitted at all times, or their name tags conspicuously visible, and must remain within the confines of their responsibilities. Passengers of Arik Air have been commending the on-time performance and customer friendliness of the airline in what they describe as a departure from the past.
Yeah, the flight was good. The flight was scheduled to depart by 9:30, and we actually took off 9:45.
When the new management have taken over, there's a lot of improvement. Like you see now, I'm in Lagos. I'm trying to buy my ticket and go back to Abuja. But before now, Arik will delay. At time will cancel their flight without giving a reasonable reason to our passengers. Now and they will continue to patronize them.
On its part, the Asset Management Company of Nigeria, who currently manages the carrier, says this new phase of the airline is a product of focus on-time performance and the quest to put the customer at the heart of its operations.
One of the things that we have done is we have determined and communicated across Arik that ensuring that customers fly on time is an important imperative for this aircraft, for this airline business. And so there's focus across the business on OTP. And so we have set the OTP standards. We have a team called OCC, Operations Center Control, that monitors OTP on a daily basis. And on every work day, there's a meeting in the morning at 10 that monitors or reviews, amongst other things, the on-time performance. So we are able to say whether we did well, we did not do well, what caused it, what did you do well to have very good OTP, what didn't we do well, which department failed, or which individual failed, which process failed. And then we put mechanisms in place to correct so that we can go back to the market and do better.
We also have streamlined our processes whereby any complaints we get from customers, we make sure we get in touch with them. We call them by phone, we send them emails, try to know what the problem is and how we can resolve it, and try to put a face to our product, and our people is the face of the product. So we're always training our staffs on how to handle passengers when they have complaints, and see them as people that if they're not there, you won't be in business. So we have to treat them properly.
Malaysian officers say they have seized $1.7 million worth of scales from one of the world's most poached animals, pangolins, at the Kuala Lumpur airport. Malaysia is a major transit point for the trade in endangered species to other Asian countries. And just last month, authorities seized $2 million worth of scales from the mammal, the largest haul ever seen in the country, at the same airport. No suspects have been detained, and it's still unclear whether Malaysia was the final destination for the scales. The scales, weighing about 400 kilograms and valued at $1.7 million, were shipped from Ghana and sent to Malaysia on Turkish Airlines via Istanbul.
The 52nd edition of the Paris Air Show at Le Bourget Airport outside the capital opened its doors early in the week. The French President Emmanuel Macron flew into the show on an Airbus A400M military transporter to declare the occasion open, and also took a stroll through the Paris Air Lab. Several companies also showcased their military and civil planes during demonstration flights. It was the first Paris display of a U.S. stealth jet in decades, the F-35, pointing to a defense recovery at the world's largest air show. European firm Airbus and its American competitor Boeing displayed their latest models of civil airplanes.
The MAX 10 will be the largest and most efficient member of the MAX family, seating up to 230 people. Our customers gain additional capacity with a 5% seat cost and trip cost advantage over our competition. Simply put, the MAX 10 will be the most efficient single-aisle airplane in the skies.
The June the 19th to 25th gathering takes place against the backdrop of surprisingly strong airline traffic driven by economic growth, but a steep drop in the appetite for new planes following robust demand for the latest fuel-efficient models in recent years. The meeting also comes amid tensions in the Gulf over a transport and economic boycott of Qatar that is fueling questions over the resilience of a major source of demand. The Paris Air Show, which is held every 2 years, is the oldest and the largest air show in the world and will be open to the general public from June the 23rd to the 25th. It's on this note that we call it a day. Thanks for watching. I'm Bukola Jo Oketumbi.